presentation of Turner Sports.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Olympic Stadium in Montreal, where tonight it's Game 3 in the series between the Atlanta Braves and the Montreal Expos. I'm Pete Van Weren, along with Don Sutton. For the first two games in this series, offense has been the name of the game. Montreal pounding out an 11-2 victory in Game 1. The Braves last night bouncing back with a 7-3 contest. But, Don, the name of the game tonight might very well be pitching.
Well, you have two guys out there tonight, Pete, who can completely dominate. And what I want the folks at home to notice, two entirely different styles of pitching. Greg Maddux changes speeds, good control. Martinez much more animated, much more powerful, maybe more of a strikeout pitcher. Now, these two guys have already put together the two best ball games that have been pitched in baseball this year. You remember May 28th? A no-hitter going into the ninth inning, a home run by Jeff Bagwell broke it up. You see Maddux striking out. Donald's right there. Pedro Martinez, June the 3rd. 27 up, 27 down. Bip Roberts broke up the perfect game with a double in the 10th inning. These two guys can pitch. Maybe it'll be a 7-6 ball game, but I'm liking 1-0 more and more.
I'm with you in that. 2-1, 1-0, something along those lines. Back with the lineups and all the action from Montreal right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball, brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. For a taste you'll find in no other beer at any price. This Bud's for you. And by Aflac, covering the unexpected cost of getting well. Aflac, insuring over 38 million people worldwide.
You're looking at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Game 3 of the series. It's tied at 1 apiece. Good pitching matchup tonight. Time for us to take a look at our Turtle Wax starting lineup. For the Braves, Mike Kelly had a good night last night. He'll lead it off again tonight. He has switched to right field. Jeff Blauser broke out of his slump. He's at short, batting second. Marquise Grissom will hit third. Fred McGriff in the cleanup spot. Chipper Jones at 5 and playing third. Ryan Klesko will bat sixth and play left field. Charlie O'Brien will do the catching tonight. Charlie has been inserted into the 7th place. Mark Lemke will bat 8th and play second. And Greg Maddux will complete the batting order for Bobby Cox. For the Expos, their defensive alignment will look like this. Alou in left, White in center, Tony Tarasco in right field. Barry at third, Cordero at short. Lansing will be at second. David Segui is at first base. Darren Fletcher again behind the plate tonight. And on the mound, Pedro Martinez. Umpiring crew, same as last night. They have just moved around 90 feet. Larry Poncino, good umpire, good ball and strike umpire. He'll be behind the plate. Harry Wendelstad will be over at first base. Randy Marsh will be down at second. And Charlie Relaford will be at third. It has been a beautiful couple of days here in Montreal. Really doesn't matter, though, when you're playing indoors. Greg Maddux, who starts his warm-up tosses on the road just a little bit longer. Pedro Martinez has already completed his. He's in the dugout waiting for his teammates to charge out on the field, as they do. And a much more animated, better size, seemingly more appreciative crowd enjoying the Expos here this year. The last two nights we've seen crowds of 22 plus, and they haven't missed a pitch. They've been into this ball game. We'll show you Martinez's numbers. 50 strikeouts in 58 innings. The league is only hitting 199 against the right-hander. He throws a fastball. He throws a very crisp curveball. A changeup. It's a good one. And every now and then tinkers a little bit with the split-finger fastball. And I'll tell you one thing about him. If you're a right-handed hitter, you are not going to walk up there, dig into the plate, and get comfortable. He will pitch inside, and he has started more than one hullabaloo by coming inside on people. Was it earlier this year in Cincinnati when he had a perfect game or a no-hitter going? Maybe it was last year. And came inside and maybe even hit Reggie Sanders. It was last year. And they got into a little bit of a fight. He was out of the ball game, but I have talked to people around him, and they say he is not a headhunter. That's a term that's applied to pitchers who deliberately throw at hitters. His style of pitching is very aggressive. That's a style taught in this Expos organization, so when he does come inside on people, every now and then one gets away. You watch him warming up down in the bullpen. He spends as much time working the right-hander's side of the plate as he does the left-hander's side of the plate. As Pete told you before, a lot of offense the last two nights, but unless these two guys are totally out of whack, don't expect it tonight. They can pitch. Here's how they rank in the pitching categories in the National League. Maddux, the league only hitting about 175 against Maddux. The earned run average, they're in the top 10. You get a matchup like this, boy, there are a lot of guys normally at the home plate making some U-turns. Martinez has completed his warm-up tosses. The ball will go down to Lansing, Cordero, Barry, and then back to the mound. We're set to go, and once again, here's Pete Van Weeren.
Okay, thank you, Don. Hi once again, everyone. Mike Kelly leads it off for Atlanta. Had a couple of hits last night and drove into. Top of the order, very productive for the Braves last night, with Kelly driving in 2, Blauser driving in 2. Up to 192 for the year now. And the first pitch of the night on the way from Martinez. A fastball strike right through there. We're underway. Kelly, Blauser, and Grissom. A little bit of a revamped lineup for Bobby Cox, with Marquise Grissom for the first time all year last night, dropping down to the number 3 spot in the order. There's one of those high, tight fastballs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pete Martinez is a guy that comes out of the chute throwing well. We've seen some pitchers who struggle in the first inning. That is certainly not the case for Pedro Martinez.
Here's the 1-1 on the way. Good fastball. 1-2. He is 2-1 lifetime against Atlanta. His major league debut in the Dodger organization came out of the bullpen. He was primarily a relief pitcher when he first came up. Here's the 1-2 to Kelly, and it's hit foul out of play right side. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 on the way. Struck him out with an inside fastball. Kelly down on strikes. 1 gone.
It is all leverage for Martinez. He's 5'11", 165 maybe, but his mechanics are so good, and he uses the upper half, goes over the lower half of his body, over that front leg. He is one of the best in the National League at applied leverage, at using what he has to get good delivery.
Now Jeff Blauser, 3 hits in last night's game. First pitch swinging, pops it foul back toward the box seats. Giving it a look is Darren Fletcher, but he has no play. The count 0-1. Jeff, who did not play in the first game of this series, on the day off he had his eyes examined. They were dilated, and they were still dilated on Tuesday night. Couldn't get into the ball game then, but last night he returned to the lineup and had 3 hits. Drove in 2.
You get a chance to, as you watch Martinez, not so much Maddux, but Martinez versus a lot of the other Braves pitchers, and you'll get a chance to see 2 different styles of teaching.
There's the breaking ball, a good one for a strike. 0-2.
It seems like in the Braves organization, if you draw a line from the middle of the pitching rubber through home plate, most of the pitchers are taught not to cross that line with your lead foot, to throw against it and over it. Dodgers organization, Martinez is a product of that.
Another strikeout with another fastball. 2 down.
Dodgers organization, if you watch Martinez, watch that front leg go to the left side of home plate, or to the right field side of home plate. Here it comes. Watch it clear out. So that lower half of his body just gets totally out of the way, gives him a chance to work the upper half of his body over the lower half. Kind of like the seesaw principle. That's all pitching is, just applying some leverage. 2 different styles of teaching.
Marquise Grissom is 5 for 7 in this first series against his former teammates. Takes the first pitch from Martinez down low. An 8-game hitting streak now for Marquise. His average for the year up to 261. In for a called strike. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You also get the, I feel like telling people, hey, sit down, take out your notebooks. We're going to get a class tonight.
Into center field. Rondell White going back. Can't get it over his head all the way to the wall. And Marquise Grissom continues to swing a hot bat with a 2-out double. Here in the top half of the first inning, he is now 6 for 8 in this series.
And that's a play that should have been made. It didn't look like Rondell White got a good jump on it. Good fastball, about knee high on the outer half. And he just kind of waved at that one, got off on the wrong foot, and carried further than we thought he was going to. You talked about how hot Grissom is. 16 out of his last 28.
And we go from one extreme to the other. Here's Fred McGriff, 0 for his last 10, just 2 for his last 21. His average has dropped into the 250s. Two men gone. Grissom, the runner at second. Here's the first pitch to McGriff. High pop fly, left side of the infield. Sean Berry is there for the catch, and that'll do it for Atlanta in the first. The 2-out double by Grissom, the only damage done at the end of a half inning. No score from Montreal.
Nothing across for the Braves. The Expos turn. Here's Felipe Alou's batting order. Tony Tarasco will lead it off. David Segui in the second spot. Cordero, Alou, and White 3 through 5. Lansing will bat 6. Fletcher, the catcher, 8. Sean Berry will bat 8th. Catcher will hit 7th. And Pedro Martinez will bat 9th. Defensively, there's a look at it right there. O'Brien behind the plate tonight. Greg Maddux will do the pitching. Maddux is record 4-1, a 217 earned run average, 175. The league hitting against him. That's number 1 in the league. He can pitch.
He is 11-10 lifetime against Montreal, and here's Tony Tarasco in the leadoff spot tonight. 6-game hitting streak going for him. He squares to bunt. Didn't get it, 0-1. Tony at 309 for the year now with 6 homers, 19 RBIs. He'll be followed by David Segui and then Will Cordero. Off the fist toward short, fielded by Blauser. 1 gone.
Greg Maddux has some interesting, very intelligent theories. If you tell him a guy likes to hit on the first pitch, let's say, for instance, we pick out Segui and we say Segui's hitting 500 on the first pitch. Maddux wants to know that. He wants to know it so that he can make him hit the ball on the first pitch. He's going to assume that he's going to hit it, but he wants him to hit his pitch. And he wants him to put the ball in play. What he doesn't want to do is just throw some ante over first pitch strike so they can put it where they want it.
Segui hitting .313 for the year. Fly ball down the left field line. Klesko, a long run back toward that corner, and he misjudged it. It's over his head and off the wall, and down to second goes David Segui. Orion's had some problems out there in left field, and he totally misjudged that one. That'll be an error all the way on Klesko.
What happens when a ball is hit off a left-hander's bat? It slices for a while till it starts coming down. Then it drifts back toward the playing field. And once again, we got him open. We just couldn't get the ball to him.
So hopefully that won't be a costly one. A runner at second, 1 down for Will Cordero, batting .297. He has a 7-game hitting streak. Couple of home runs and 17 RBIs this year for Cordero. Pickoff play on, back at second, back safely David Segui. Braves have had third base stolen on them quite a few times this year. 13 times third base has been swiped. And it's been noticeable the last couple of weeks that pitchers have been paying a little more attention and varying the time, especially between their looks back to second and their throws home. Now the pitch to Cordero. Good fastball. The count 0-1.
You bring up a good point there about people stealing against the Braves. The Expos took quite a few liberties against Greg Maddux. I guess if there was one thing you could kind of pick apart about him as far as the Expos is concerned, there it is right there.
The next pitch to Cordero, hit on 2 hops to short, fielded by Blauser. His throw on to first in time to get Cordero. Segui has to stay put at second, 2 down. And that'll bring up the Expos cleanup man, Moises Alou, the left fielder, hitting right at 300 with 5 homers, 23 RBIs. And here is a guy that likes that first pitch, Don.
More than maybe as well as anybody in the league, and successfully too, I might add. He's somewhere in the neighborhood. I know he's up over 500 on the first pitch.
In a little bit of a slump right now. He's 2 out of 19, and he's been playing with a bad shoulder. Little ground ball left side again, fielded by Chipper Jones. The throw on to first. He'll have to hurry the throw. He gets it there in time. And that'll do it for Montreal in the first. The 2-base error by Ryan Klesko doesn't hurt. Runner stranded at second. No score after 1. No score as we go to the top half of inning 2. Pete Van Weeren, Don Sutton with you from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Chipper Jones, Ryan Klesko, Charlie O'Brien due up.
Normally they make the people on the pass list sit in their seats.
Chipper Jones hitting .275, 9 home runs and 33 runs driven in.
Of course, that guy doesn't need a seat. He's looking for a rafter to hang from.
And Martinez delivers to Chipper. Couldn't stop the swing. The count 0-1.
Good changeup. I think it must go with the family name. His brother Ramon is one of the best I've ever seen. Now 0-1 coming to Chipper. Fastball up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. And both had it at a very young age. Martinez is only 23 years old, but when Ramon came up in the Dodger organizations as a teenager, he was opening eyes with that changeup. Credits Mario Soto with it, teaching them that. Maybe not so much with just taking him out to the playground and saying, here's how you do it, but he had such a huge following in the Dominican Republic, and everybody wanted to pitch like Mario Soto.
Now the 2-1 pitch on the way to Chipper Jones. Ground ball right side. Lansing back on the active list, throws him out. Lansing just reactivated today. He's been out for the last 15 days with a hamstring pull. Tim Foley, who pulled a groin in last night's game, has gone on the disabled list.
We're talking about the styles of pitching. I think so often we get caught up when we watch battery mates. We watch the catchers in, can they hit?
Klesko taking ball 1.
And can they throw? But they're a part of a combination. In my mind, a good catcher is one who always made the pitcher's job easier, who worked with him. You have 2 of the very best catching tonight.
2-0 the count on Klesko. Ryan hitting .273, 3 home runs, 12 runs driven in.
If you watch them, the one common denominator, watch them slide to where they want the ball, frame the strike, frame the area they want it, and do everything with just kind of gracefully.
There's that good changeup, and the count goes to 2-1.
A good catcher will never try to reach out and snatch the ball. They won't try to grab it out front. They let the ball come to them. It makes it so much easier for the pitcher to work, and it makes it easier on the umpire.
Down the left field line. That's a fair ball headed toward the left field corner. Klesko will round first, head for second, as Alou runs that ball down in the corner.
Ryan looks like he's limping a little.
Well, he's been playing with a strained quadricep muscle. Remember, he pulled up short running to first base near the end of the homestand.
He had a good pitch. That's not a strike. It's off the plate. Stayed with it. That was off the plate a good 6 inches. Got enough of it to hit it just inside the line, and Ryan may have gotten away with something there. It looked like he missed first base. It looked like as he tried to make the turn and kick it up a notch, that quadricep was bothering him, and he may have come up short at first.
I think we're going to see an appeal on that. On this very first pitch, David Segui is over there standing on the bag at first. That's what the appeal is going to be. Harry Wendelstedt says no, he got the bag.
Well, good. At least somebody else thought it, too.
The hitter is Charlie O'Brien, batting .356 for the year. He has 4 home runs. Has driven in 7. A runner at second. That was the second hit allowed by Martinez. Up and away to O'Brien, ball 1. Montreal not playing him to pull quite as much as some of the other teams do. Here comes the 1-0. In for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If you're a right-handed hitter and you walk up there and you see them spread out like that, it should give you a pretty good idea you're not going to get anything on the inner half of the strike zone to hit. If you get anything inside, they're going to want it off the plate just to chase you off of it.
Now the 1-1. Late on the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And he chased one that was inside and up.
One man out. Klesko, the runner at second. No score. We're in the top half of inning 2. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Charlie O'Brien. Now the 2-2 to O'Brien. Struck him out with a high fastball. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Martinez. And out number 2 here in the top of the 2nd.
And all 3 have come on fastballs. 2 of the 3 have come on fastballs up in the strike zone. Did you see where Fletcher had his mitt held? He wanted it up above the belt. That's a good pitch. To a hitter, that looks better than it really is.
2 down. That'll bring up Mark Lemke, hitting .222. Couple of home runs and 12 RBIs. His batting average has been on the rise. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. His family is up from the Utica, New York area for this series. And the first pitch to Mark is low. Ball 1. Two men out. Klesko down at second. Just off the outside corner. 2-0. Here's the 2-0 on the way, and that caught the corner, and the count 2-1.
Martinez is one of those pitchers too, Pete, that when he wants more movement on his fastball, he throws it with less velocity. Like the 2-0 pitch to Lemke.
Here's the 2-1. Ground ball to the right side, but foul. And that evens the count on Mark. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You know, you were talking about the crowds here at Olympic Stadium. There was a note today that Montreal, unlike most other teams in the major leagues, is not way behind their attendance pace of a year ago. In fact, they're with tonight's crowd, they'll be ahead of where they were last year at this time. Most teams are down 20-30%. But the Expos fans like this team.
And I think if a group of fans had a chance to really be frustrated and upset about the work stoppage last year, these people here could have been.
Yes, remember, they had the best record in baseball at the time of the strike. That just missed inside. Full count now, 3-2.
See, if he'd have thrown that pitch with the same velocity of the 2-0 pitch, he would have gotten a movement that caught the inside of the corner. But watch that one, stays pretty straight. Good pitch, but the right call. See if he goes to the changeup. 3-2.
Here it comes to Lemke. Grounded foul. It stays 3-2. Pitcher Greg Maddux waiting on deck. Montreal a game ahead of Atlanta right now in the National League East. Both teams trying to catch the Phillies. Phillies lead the division by 3 games over the Expos. The Braves are 4 back. There's a look at the standings in the National League East. A 3-team race right now with the Mets and Marlins, each trying to keep out of the cellar. Again, a 3-2 pitch due to Mark Lemke from Martinez. Here it comes. And again, it's fouled off. Still 3-2. There is yet another Martinez brother on the way in the Dodger organization. Jesus. also a pitcher. Again, the 3-2, and he lost him inside. That's the first walk issued by Martinez. Runners at first and second with 2 outs now for the pitcher, Greg Maddux.
Maddux is a good hitting pitcher, but you got the feeling right there he really didn't care. Either Lemke was going to chase something bad or he was going to walk him. He threw him 2 change-ups, 3-2, and then came back with his third pitch there, the curveball, and what he was looking for was the element of surprise. He figured if I get this in the strike zone, Lemke will not swing, and he missed with it.
Maddux 5 out of 20 on the year. And the first pitch to him is up and in, ball 1. Klesko down at second after picking up his 5th double of the year. Mark Lemke, the runner at first, 2 men out, no score. We're in the top half of inning 2. Here's the 1-0 up the middle and caught by a diving Lansing for out number 3. Lansing.
Bottom of the second, nothing doing yet. This telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Atlanta National League Baseball Club. It is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission of the pictures or descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta National League Baseball Club is prohibited.
And there's the man that took the run away from the Braves, Mike Lansing, who got off the disabled list just in time for Montreal, it appears. He'll be due up second in the inning. Rondell White will lead it off. Rondell White, the National League's Player of the Week a week ago. He's hitting .356 for the year, 7 homers, and 21 RBIs. And when he hits a home run, it travels. The average distance of Rondell White's home runs this year have been over 400 feet, a little over 400 feet. A native of Milledgeville, Georgia, and the first pitch on the way to Rondell White. He takes a strike on 1.
So when you say he can hit him a mile, you're coming awfully close with Rondell White, aren't you?
Bouncing ball up the middle. Blauser has this one. 1 down. All 4 outs in the game. Ground balls. And here is Mike Lansing, who was just beginning to get hot when he got hurt. He had a 5-game hitting streak. When he pulled that hamstring, had to go on the DL for a couple of weeks. This guy's a good story. He was not drafted by anybody. He signed with an independent team down in Miami back in 1990 and played there for 2 years before the Expos purchased his contract. It's the first pitch, 2 hops toward short again. Blauser charging this one, fields the high hop, throws it on to first in time. And on 3 pitches, Mr. Maddux has the first 2 outs in the inning.
Tricky hop right here. Watch the high jump. Blauser was set to go up the ladder. Didn't have to go as high as he thought he was going to. Still made a good play on it. Now, if you're keeping your own scouting report at home, you can already fill out something on Maddux if you want to. His fastball is moving. You know that right away. And you also should know that it's sinking, because normally a sinking fastball kept down in the strike zone will cause a lot of ground balls.
Now Darren Fletcher, who homered off Smoltz last night, hitting .292 for the year, and he takes a strike. In fact, Greg Maddux has thrown nothing but strikes so far in this game. He's thrown 10 pitches. They've all been strikes.
It's a pretty good ratio.
The 0-1. Well, he is human after all. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, bases empty, no score. We're in the bottom half of inning 2. And the 1-1 to Fletcher is low and outside, 2-1. Braves will travel after the game tonight to Denver and open up the series with the Colorado Rockies tomorrow night. Here's the 2-1 delivery. It's even, 2-2.
Maddux takes pitching another step. There are a lot of guys who will tell you that if they're struggling with control, What they try to do is point their lead foot in the area they want the ball to go.
And that is all for Darren Fletcher. First strikeout of the game for Maddux. A very easy 1-2-3 inning. After 2, no score. We go to the top half of the third inning. You see Greg Maddux and Charlie O'Brien discussing what's been going on.
That's a great picture right there, and there's a lesson. A lot of starting pitchers, a lot of very successful pitchers will take the time between innings to sit with their catcher, to go over what they want to do, to go over what they've done. That's a great idea.
Mike Kelly struck out in the first inning. Takes a breaking ball low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. No score. 1-0 pitch is fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Of course, to be able to do that, you need to work with a catcher for whom catching is more than just something to do between turns at bat.
Now Martinez ready for the 1-1 to Mike Kelly. Caught the inside corner. It's 1-2.
You know, I had the good fortune to play with some great catchers, so there are probably times, Pete, when you get sick and tired of listening to talk about watching catchers make pitching easy, but these two do it, and right there was a good example of just holding the ball for an extra look and framing it and catching it gracefully. You get more calls.
This one will be out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Kelly. Fletcher also out of the Dodger organization, as is Martinez. Second time that Kelly has gone down on strikes. That is strikeout number 4 for Martinez. 1 down.
Great changeup. Good spot, good arm speed, good location, good movement. Watch Kelly go out to get a fastball, and it's not there. The bat had already crossed the plate before the ball got to it.
Now Jeff Blauser, he too a strikeout victim in the first. And he's behind in the count 0-1.
Well, last night they weren't real successful with Jeff Blauser. He didn't play the first night. But it looks like Montreal sees something in his swing that makes them think they can throw him a lot of fastballs.
Breaking ball this time, and it's 0-2. Struck him out with a curveball. That's 5 strikeouts for Martinez, and he's gotten Kelly and Blauser twice each.
That first fastball he threw by Blauser might have set these two up, because if you're normal and you're a hitter, you think, that was by me. I better start it up a little bit quicker. And if you start that bat a little bit quicker and you get a pitch like that, it's awfully tough to stop the swing on it.
Now Marquise Grissom, his first inning double gave him a 9-game hitting streak. Takes the first one low, ball 1. 6 hits and 8 trips in this series. Some of the other scores of games underway. The one game you saw completed this afternoon, the Cubs beating the Giants. That was a 1-hitter in that Kansas City victory for Mark Gubicza. 2-0 the count now on Grissom. Here's the 2-0 on the way, and Marquise looks at a strike at the knees. The count goes to 2-1. Loop toward shallow right center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Marquise trying for 2 and is in standing. A little flare to right center field, and Marquise winds up with his 2nd double of the night and his 7th hit in this series.
I think he had his mind made up to try for this. Boy, does he hit a good pitch. That's not a strike. That's a ball. Gets enough of it to get it into right field. Watch him come out of the batter's box. He'll follow the ball with his eyes, but he's already on the move. He hustled that into a double.
Braves now have 3 hits off Martinez, all 3 of them doubles. And here is Fred McGriff. He popped to third in the first inning. Now for his last 11. Taking ball 1 downstairs.
Add another line to that. He's only 1 out of his last 18, people. There it is with men in scoring position.
Time call as McGriff steps out.
Last time up, kept the ball in on him, broke his bat with an inside fastball.
Count goes to 2-0. McGriff has not homered since back on the 1st of June. String of 43 at bats without a home run. Caught the inside corner with a breaking ball to count 2-1.
Good pitch to follow a curveball with, especially behind an account. If you have a good one, is a changeup, because a hitter sees a curveball. Now he sees something straight. You automatically think fastball. So unless you have an exceptionally good curveball, it's better to follow it with the change.
Here's the 2-1. Missed low and inside of the fastball. 3-1.
A lot of theories about pitching, but one of them is if you're going to throw 2 off-speed pitches back to back, you're better off throwing the curveball followed by the changeup than you are the changeup followed by the curveball.
It's full now. 3-2 on McGriff. Fred really struggling right now.
Fred is a guy, when he gets in a groove, Pete, he looks comfortable with every swing. Right now, you don't see him take but 2 or 3 comfortable looking swings a game.
2 men out. The runner at second, Marquise Grissom. Here comes the 3-2 pitch on the way down to McGriff. And it just missed inside. Ball 4. That is walk number 2 given up by Martinez. Puts runners at first and second with 2 men out for Chipper Jones, who bounced out to second his first time.
Boy, he had some heat here. See what we were talking about earlier? The slower fastball moves more. The harder he throws it, the straighter it is. That time he didn't get the jump, the movement back over the inside corner that he was looking for.
First and second, 2 outs for Chipper.
Got him out with a changeup the first time.
Deep to right field. Back goes Tony Tarasco to the warning track to make the catch. And that is out number 3. The Braves strand 2 more runners. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Still scoreless from Montreal.
Nothing doing here. Here's what's on deck for the Braves, brought to you by Armor All Deck Protector. They go on to Colorado, where it's against the Rockies. Give you the matchup. Glavine against Swift in game 1. Avery against Acevedo in game 2. And then Kent Merker against Marvin Freeman on Sunday. There are your times, all right here on TBS.
And here's Sean Berry leading off the bottom half of the 3rd. You can see his numbers for the year. 1 ball, no strikes. He'll be followed by the pitcher Pedro Martinez. Then back to the top of the order, Tony Tarasco. Outside corner for a strike. The count even. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Berry. Berry, the only guy in this Montreal batting order who has had much success in his career against Maddux. He's 5 for 15 lifetime against Greg. Everybody else hitting 250 or under in their careers against Maddux. 2-1 the count now on Berry.
There's an inside out swing. Pete tries to hit the ball from second base to the right side. It gives him just a little bit longer look at Maddux.
Here comes the 2-1. Low and away, 3-1. 3-1 delivery. Berry fouled that one off his foot. 3-2. You know, you were talking about Greg Maddux being such a student of the game. He was having a conversation with Mark Lemke on the bus on the way over to the ballpark, just to show you what he has in his mind when he makes some of these pitches. He was recalling a game against Colorado. Mike Kingery was the hitter. His first 2 times up, he grounded out to second base. His 3rd time up, Mark Lemke was having problems with the contact. And he kind of waved off Maddux and said, "Go ahead and pitch. I'll be all right." And Maddux said, "No, because I make the pitch that I made to him the last time. He's going to hit it to you again." He not only has a place he's going to put the pitch, he has an idea where it might be hit. Long throw required here from Chipper Jones. He does not get Sean Berry. It'll be an infield hit, the first hit allowed by Greg Maddux.
Everybody did the right thing, and Berry got a base hit. That's a bad pitch. He chased it. Chipper can't come in and try to grab this here. He's got to wait for the hop. Made a perfect throw. That's a good hustle out of the right-handed batter's box by Berry.
Now the pitcher, Pedro Martinez, in a bunt situation. A runner at first, nobody out. He gets the bunt down. It'll be fielded by Chipper Jones. He goes to Lemke covering. Down to second on the 5-4 sacrifice goes Sean Berry. One gone.
Guess who was in covering third? That's good thinking and good hustle. We've talked before about how Ryan Klesko has had a little trouble in left field. It hasn't kept him from keeping his head in the ball game. As soon as that ball was bunted, Ryan saw nobody at third, and he was there. He beat Charlie O'Brien there. Chipper Jones thinks about second, but he knows the only thing he can do is go to first. You'll see Klesko maybe come into your picture on your left, but he was the first guy there. Good hustle.
Here's Tarasco. He grounded out to short in the first inning. And he takes a strike in the inside corner, 0-1. There's your runner at second, Sean Berry. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tarasco.
They don't get any better in baseball than that man right there with Ben on base. All I want to know is, how do you do that?
So had a lot of other pitchers. Runner is going. The throw to third by O'Brien. They get him this time. Chipper Jones hanging on, and Sean Berry cut down trying to steal third for out number 2.
He tried to time the look. Maddux gave him one look. O'Brien up throwing in a hurry. It helped that he didn't have a right-handed hitter there. What a good throw. Just tag yourself out. And he did.
Out number 2 in the inning. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Tarasco.
Chipper Jones did a good job there, too. He was a long way from the bag.
Down and in, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 to Tarasco. Strike 3 called, inside corner fastball. That's the second strikeout of the night for Maddux, and that's all for Montreal in the third. The base hit doesn't hurt, and we go to the 4th inning. Still no score. No score as we go to the 4th inning. We showed you Charlie O'Brien and Greg Maddux talking things over an inning ago. Fred McGriff, who's mired in a batting slump right now, he's spending most of his time these days with Clarence Jones, the Braves hitting coach, as they discuss what Fred is going through. 4th inning, and here's Don Sutton.
All right, Pete. Klesko to lead it off. Klesko, O'Brien, and Lemke first 3 due up. No score. 3 hits for the Braves, only 1 for the Expos. First pitch is a fastball outside, 1-0. Ryan hit a good pitch for that double. Changeup that was off the plate, just served it down the left field line. Didn't get the curveball. It's 1-1. Before that double, Klesko only had 1 hit against Martinez. It was a home run. He was 1 out of 5. A little late on the fastball. It's 1-2. Watching these two guys, you can work a hitter a couple of ways. There's the line up to this point. 5 strikeouts, almost 2 an inning. You can work a hitter a couple of ways. You can work them as Maddux does, horizontally from side to side on the plate. Martinez is one of those guys that works a hitter up and down. That one down and in. You saw him throw the changeup, the breaking ball for a strike down low, then the fastball up high. Tried to come back with another fastball. He's a good pitcher. And because of the way he throws, he should never have any shoulder problems. He puts so much of the load of pitching on his back muscles, on his fanny muscles, and his legs, so the larger muscles are getting most of the work. Back up the middle, 2 hits for Klesko. That's a good piece of hitting.
Looked like that pitch got a lot more of the plate than Martinez and Darren Fletcher wanted. You see Fletcher set up inside corner. Look where the pitch was, right over the middle.
Klesko's average now climbing on up toward the 295 mark. He stands at first. Charlie O'Brien, the hitter. Expos are apparently not looking for O'Brien to bunt. They're playing back all the way around. Now Sean Berry creeps in at third. Klesko not much of a threat to steal. Maybe a little hit and run with O'Brien. Change up for a strike. Charlie O'Brien is a catcher that you can entrust the responsibility of playing hit and run with if you want to. Good contact hitter. He doesn't strike out much. Good stop by Darren Fletcher. It's 1-1. O'Brien 6 strikeouts and better than 50 at bats this year.
He has really become a much better hitter the longer he's been around the major leagues. Last 2 or 3 years, power numbers are up and the batting average up.
Klesko not that far off, so makes it back easily. One ball, one strike. We're in the top of the 4th inning. The scoreboard showing just about what you might expect when 2 of this caliber get together. Breaking ball is outside, and it's 2-1. Looks like they're trying to keep the ball away from Charlie O'Brien. Charlie, with catcher speed, a candidate for the double play if they can get the ground ball out of it. Charlie spent some time in the Milwaukee Brewers organization and talking about catchers who could hit and run. In the air, maybe out of play. Fletcher will give it a look, and it's going to go back into the crowd. It's 2-2. Milwaukee for a long time had a catcher who split catching time with Ted Simmons. And I hope the name is familiar with you because he also played some right field and made a very big throw in the 1982 playoffs. His name was Charlie Moore. And he was as good a hit and run man as I have ever seen. Mike Scioscia was the same way, and Charlie is a guy who can put it in play for you too. I can't think of another catcher who was as good a hit and run man as Charlie Moore. Still 2-2. Both of these managed very actively involved in throws to first and pickoff plays. So Fletcher with a look into Felipe Alou. Foul ball. Fights off some good pitches. Still 2-2.
You know, and you mentioned O'Brien and Moore being catchers who were good hit and run men. You also threw Mike Scioscia's name in there. Bruce Benedict, when he was with the Braves, used to be a very good hit and run candidate. Does it ever strike you how many catchers who are good defensive catchers and really into calling a game seem to be pretty good in the hit and run? Maybe because they anticipate pitches better as a hitter.
That could be because they know
they're used to thinking that way.
Another throw to first, and again Klesko is back. There is a relationship between a pitcher and catcher. So many organizations, so many people get caught up with things like, does he throw well? Does he throw to second well? Does he hit well? But a good catcher is more than just one facet of it. Full count to Charlie O'Brien. You can expect Ryan Klesko to be on the move. Klesko adds about a half a step to his lead. And there he goes. He'll have to come back and try it again. That one's out of play, back into the crowd. How many times in the last 2 weeks have we seen 3-2 counts with the hitters running and we have to do it 5 or 6 times?
I'll bet you it happens more than 50% of the time over the course of the season when a runner is going.
What was it, 2 straight series with Houston? Chris Donalds ran enough to qualify for the Olympics?
Like 9 straight pitches fouled off.
Another 3-2 pitch to Charlie O'Brien. Charlie's average pushing the 350 mark. There goes Klesko. There goes O'Brien. There goes the throw, and Klesko's in safe. There's your kleptomaniac in the dry cleaners right there, Pete.
Got away with a hanger?
Got away with a hanger.
Did he ever? It's a half a dozen strikeouts.
Klesko with a good jump stands at second. And that'll bring up Mark Lemke. Lemke walked his first time up. Martinez has walked a pair. 6 strikeouts, 2 base on balls.
That was only Ryan Klesko's second career stolen base in the major leagues, his first this year.
Base hit here could give the Braves the lead. In the air left field, that's going to hang up for a Lou. So it looks like if Greg Maddux wants a run to play with, he's going to have to do it himself. He'll bat with 2 outs and Klesko standing at second.
Well, he had this opportunity back in the second inning, runners first and second, 2 outs, and he almost got the base hit. He was robbed by Mike Lansing, a diving catch and a line drive hit up the middle.
So Merker, who is one of the best in the business at getting it on other people, has one on him. Look at the look on Avery's face.
And Smoltz.
This is such a serious business on the nights when you're not pitching. There's strike one to Maddux. This pitching staff, this 5-man starting staff, does more things together, has more friendly competition and less friction than any other 5-man starting staff I've ever been around. Smoltz may need to get smelling salts. He's hysterical. Upstairs, 1-1. Call strike, 1-2. No runs, 4 hits and an error for the Braves. No runs, 1 hit and errorless ball for the Expos. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Final game of the series here in Montreal. Get our first look at Coors Field in Denver starting tomorrow night. That'll do it. Good curveball. 7 strikeouts. Braves threaten again here in the 4th and come up empty. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, just about what you might have expected. It's a 0-0 ball game. Nothing across as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Segui, Cordero, and Alou. First 3 up for the Expos. First time up, Segui hit a ball down the left field line that lost in the sun. Ryan Klesko had a little trouble tracking it as it curled back toward the playing field. There's strike 1. Pete, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard a rumor Lance Coffey is up from Norcross, Georgia for the game.
Well, judging by all the notes he'd sent us, I'd say you're right.
Out of play, 0-2. He's here trying to get things percolating for the Braves in this ball game.
I hope he doesn't get hit in the calf by a foul ball.
No balls and 2 strikes. Got him. 3 strikeouts for Maddux, 2 consecutively. And 2 of them have been called.
Gets a lot of called third strikes because that pitch just comes back just a little bit. Just enough to catch the corner.
1 gone for Cordero. He grounded to short his first time up. First 5 outs recorded in the ballgame were ground ball outs, 4 of them to Blauser. First pitch a strike. Remember the first time we saw Cordero, he was a skinny kid down in spring training, and they said
he was only 17 years old the first major league spring training he went to.
And they said this is going to be the Expos shortstop of the future. And I know all of us said, okay, sure. But he has really matured into a good ball player and a good hitter. 294 last year, double figures in homers for the last 2 years. And plays a good shortstop. 2-1 to count. Tough chance for Chipper Jones. Do or die, and he couldn't. Should go as a base hit. That was a tough play.
Your only chance of making this play is to connect cleanly on the short hop and hope that you get a good, strong, and accurate throw off to first. And I'll bet you Chipper Jones learned from that. You talk about how he adjusts offensively. I'll bet you defensively he hasn't played that many games on turf. But he'll remember that that ball came up a little bit higher than he thought it was going to off the turf. And if he gets another play like that sometime down the line, watch him again, see if he doesn't play it a little better.
Checking the dugout out now to see where he should be positioned for Moises Alou. We told you earlier he likes the first pitch. Maddux wants him to put it in play. He doesn't want it in the middle of the strike zone. First, the check of Cordero.
Got him on a ground ball to third on the first pitch his last time up.
A fastball down and in. A lot of pitchers would tell you if a guy is hitting a lot on the first pitch, I'm not going to throw him a strike. Maddux's theory is different. He says, I'm going to throw him a pitch he can handle, but I don't want it where he likes it. You have to have good control to be able to think that way. Well, you don't have to have good control to be able to think that way. You have to have good control to be able to make it work. Man has a doctorate's degree in pitching.
33 pitches tonight, 23 strikes.
Tried to get him to chase one upstairs, misses, and it's 1-0. Some other scorers taking a place around baseball. Would you say that was a one-hitter for
One
Gubas?
hitter for Mark Gubas.
Another throw to first, and again Cordero is back. Cordero has the potential to be a base stealer. This year only 3 out of 6. Kind of interesting the way managers play a ball game when they think it might be a 1-0 ball game. They want to be the one that puts that number up there first. Off the fish, shallow center, tough play Lemke, but he's got it. Not in time for the double play. Well, he got a pitch to hit, but he didn't get the one he wanted to hit.
Difficult decision for a base runner here if you're Will Cordero. You're not sure if that ball's going to get beyond Lemke or not. You've got to take a chance on getting a little bit off the bag, because if it does drop, you don't want to be forced at second by a throw from the center fielder.
Second out of the inning, and here's Rondell White. Hit the ball sharply his first time up at Jeff Blauser. The average still in the 350s. Doesn't get the breaking ball. A lot of times you'll see a first baseman, if they spot something or they think a guy is going, he'll come in and tell the pitcher. You know, give me a look over here, or give me a throw, or give me back-to-back throws. A lot of pitchers don't like to make consecutive throws to first. How many times do you see a pitcher throw once to first and go home? Good size lead by Cordero, 1 foot on the turf. There's one throw over. Right foot's out on the turf again, and he's not going. Strike 2 to White. That's what we were talking about, working a hitter horizontally. You saw Maddux go to the outside part of the strike zone with a breaking ball for strike 1. He came back inside part of the strike zone for strike 2. He didn't go to the top of the strike zone and the bottom of the strike zone. He works in and out. Another throw to first. Take a look to see if Maddux holds just a little bit longer on this one. He doesn't. And it's a pitch out. Grounder to Chipper Jones. Long throw to first. That'll take care of the Expos here in the 4th inning. Maddux does give up a hit, but he's left stranded. We have completed 4 at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Still zeros on the scoreboard. Top of the 5th inning, pitching dominated. The Braves with only 4 hits, the Expos with only 2. Top of the 5th, top of the batting order. Kelly, Blauser, and Grissom. First 3 due up for the Braves. Curveball for a strike, 0-1. Pete Van Leeuwen and Don Sutton with you for 3 more outs. Then Joe Simpson, Skip Carey will wrap up the 3rd game of the series here in Montreal. 1 ball, 1 strike. Changeup misses, and it's 2-1. First couple of times through the lineups, mostly fastballs and changeups. Now going through the 3rd time, and we're seeing more breaking balls out of Martinez. That had a little giddy up on it, but was wide of the strike zone, and he's fallen behind 3-1 to Mike Kelly. Braves would like to have Kelly on there with Blauser coming up. He has good speed. That is drilled to left center field. That's going to be way out of here. Kelly gets his 3rd homer of the year, his 11th RBI, and the Braves break out on top, 1-0.
He had a favorable count. Martinez had fallen behind 3-1. And Kelly, who's had some big hits in this series, he drove in 2 with a couple of hits last night. Got a fastball down in the outer part of the plate and just drove it like a 2-iron shot into the left center field seats.
Only the 5th home run Martinez has allowed. Got behind with the off-speed stuff, had to come in with a fastball. And Kelly might have shown you right there he's a pretty good low ball hitter, Pete. And Blauser's hit with the pitch. That might have been a 2-bagger there. I think that got Darren Fletcher too.
Second time in as many nights that Blauser has reached this way. That pitch just slipped. Hit off Blauser, then off the mask of Fletcher.
So Blauser's at first, still nobody out. There's Marquise Grissom. Perfect 2 for 2, a pair of doubles. The average up to 270 now. safely. Jeff has tried 3 steal attempts. He's been successful once. And draws more throws to first base than anybody else in the lineup. A strike to Grissom, and it's 0-1.
Another look at the home run swing of Mike Kelly on a 3-1 pitch. Third homer of the year.
We got some extension on that one. Another good lead by Blauser. Ground ball, right side, through. Going to get into right field. Blauser will stop at second. So the Braves are solving Martinez in the inning. A home run, a single, a hit batsman, still nobody out. Runners at first and second.
And Marquise Grissom has been solving his former teammates pitching this entire series. He's 3 for 3 tonight and 8 for 10 now in the series.
That'll bring up Fred McGriff. McGriff is having a little problem solving pitching. He popped a third his first time up. He did draw a walk. Last night, Fred 0 for 5. The night before, 0 for 4. I have him 0 for 10 in the series, Pete. Does that go along with your numbers?
I have him 0 for 9.
First one downstairs.
Yeah, he was only 0 for 3 in the first game. Ryan Klesko came in to replace him late in the game.
So he is yet to connect against the Expos pitching. Blauser at second, Grissom at first. In the air to center field. That's not going to be deep enough to get Blauser to third, I don't think. The throw will come to second. Blauser's going to go to third. What some good base running. And a mental error by Rondell White in center. That's a break for the Braves.
I have no idea what Rondell White was thinking about there. Jeff Blauser had not gotten far enough off the bag where they had a chance to double him with a throw to second. And he was going to put the brakes on right here, but when he sees the throw going back to second base, he keeps on going. They have no chance of getting him. I have no clue as to why White threw the ball to second base.
So the mental error by the Expos gives the Braves a chance to get a runner home from third now without having to have a base hit do it. Grissom still at first. Blauser's at third. Chipper Jones the hitter. He's grounded to second. He's flied to right. Expos in at the corners. Deep at second and short to first base. Only one play for Segui. So the mental mistake by Rondell White cost the Expos a run, and it's 2-0 Braves. Give Chipper Jones an RBI.
Segui makes a good play here. He was thinking about trying to come home after tagging the bag at first, but looked at second after touching the bag. He saw he had no play home, saw he had no play at second. All they could get out of it was the one out.
Marquise Grissom moves up 90 feet. Here's Ryan Klesko. He's 2 for 2. His average up to 291. A double in the second, a single in the fourth. There's ball one down low.
Not only did that mental error cost the Expos a run, but if the runners are at first and second, Segui is not playing that close to the line. He's playing deeper. He might have gotten to that ball and started a double play.
Change up downstairs. Greg Harris is going to start warming up for the Expos. Harris pitched in game 1 of the series. Finished up for Perez. Three change-ups in a row. One of them finds the strike zone. It's 2-1. Martinez's fastball is down low, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Charlie O'Brien waits on deck. I I'd be surprised if Klesko gets anything anywhere near the middle of the strike zone on this pitch. There's a changeup, 3-1, and it's a beauty. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A payoff pitch to Ryan Klesko. Grounded sharply to second. Lansing with plenty of time. Throws out Klesko. That'll take care of the Braves here in the 5th inning, but they get the home run from Kelly. Some help from White as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Halfway home, Braves lead it 2-0.
Joe Simpson and Skip Carey with you in the catacombs here of the Big O, here in the cave of a press box. 2-0 Braves. Good inning for Atlanta in the top of the inning, and more good Greg Maddux, huh?
He's amazing. Let's hope he can keep it up.
Mike Lansing back in the lineup tonight after a stint on the DL. Takes a strike. Lansing grounded to short his first time up. Good tailing fastball. 0-2 the count. One of the more classic at bats of the night, I thought, Skip, was the one against Tony Tarasco. That fastball keeps him honest inside. He didn't go around, says Harry Wendelstedt, but even when a guy like Tarasco knows how Maddux likes to pitch left-handed hitters, he gave up on that fastball inside and took it for a call third, and all he could do was walk to right field.
It's like watching a great surgeon operate.
1-2 pitch just missed. Crowd trying to get into it to help the Expos out. They trail it 2-0. Foul back to the screen. The important thing to me, Skip, about this Expos ball club is their leadoff man every inning. Not just whoever their leadoff batter is in their order, but each inning you got to try real hard to keep that guy off the bases because they all run so well. They do such a good job at playing hit and run and bunting. 2-2 pitch, 2-hopper to Blauser. 1 out. Jeff's been busy tonight. 5th assist. And some heads-up base running helped turn a mistake by Rondell White in the top of the inning into a run when Blauser advanced over to third base on the fly ball by McGriff. This is Fletcher. He takes one low. He struck out his first time up. One the count. Fletcher homered last night, his 5th of the year. That's off his leg, and count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Hard to believe it's been all the way back to May 28th since Maddux won his last ball game. It came against Houston. No decision in his last 2 starts, although he pitched great.
It's hard to believe that the Braves are just 5-4 in games he started as well as his pitch. He's pitched excellent baseball in 8 out of 9 of them.
That one against the Cardinals, though, against Ken Hill, that was the heartbreaker where he gave up the run in the 9th inning that cost him the last decision when Todd Zeile doubled with 2 outs. There's a slicing line drive. Trouble for Grissom. That's going to go to the gap. Fletcher hustles into second. Nobody covering there as Grissom fires it in, but McGriff following the runner in position to make the catch. A 1-out double for Darren Fletcher. That'll bring up Sean Berry.
Grissom's played a lot of games here. He can play this place as well as anybody.
Too might have thought with Fletcher running he might have a chance, but nobody there to cover. The infielders lined up for the throw to third. Berry bounced one off the plate for an infield hit his first time up. And he's had some good luck against Greg. 6 for 16. 1-0. Maddux wants a new baseball. Fletcher with a short lead at second base. 1-0 pitch grounded to Blauser again. Should be an easy play and is his 6th assist of the night. Fletcher has to stay at second base. Pedro Martinez will hit for himself. Greg Maddux has a brave 40-17, and on the road 25-8. Martinez put down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Takes one a little bit low.
Well, look where Kelly is camped, right over on the right field line.
Pedro's only 1 for 19 on the year. But he hits a little flare into right center field. Grissom over quickly, has it. Got a catcher running, the throw to the plate. O'Brien blocks the plate. Fletcher goes around him, and they got him coming back. Great job by Charlie O'Brien. And boy, did Grissom get to that ball in a hurry. And some heads-up base running helped turn a mistake by Rondell White in the top of the inning into a run when Blauser advanced over to third base on the fly ball by McGriff. This is Fletcher. He takes one low. He struck out his first time up. 1-1 the count. Fletcher homered last night, his 5th of the year. That's off his leg, and count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Hard to believe it's been all the way back to May 28th since Maddux won his last ball game. It came against Houston. No decision in his last 2 starts, although he pitched great.
It's hard to believe that the Braves are just 5 and 4 in games he started as well as he's pitched. He's pitched excellent baseball in 8 out of 9 of them.
That one against the Cardinals, though, against Ken Hill, that was the heartbreaker where he gave up the run in the 9th inning that cost him the last decision when Todd Zeile doubled with 2 outs. There's a slicing line drive. Trouble for Grissom. That's going to go to the gap. Fletcher hustles into second. Nobody covering there as Grissom fires it in, but McGriff following the runner in position to make the catch. A 1-out double for Darren Fletcher. That'll bring up Sean Berry.
Grissom's played a lot of games here. He can play this place as well as anybody.
He might have thought with Fletcher running he might have a chance, but nobody there to cover. The infielders lined up for the throw to third. Berry bounced one off the plate for an infield hit his first time up. And he's had some good luck against Greg. 6 for 16. 1-0. Maddux wants a new baseball. Fletcher with a short lead at second base. 1-0 pitch grounded to Blauser again. Should be an easy play and is his 6th assist of the night. Fletcher has to stay at second base. Pedro Martinez will hit for himself. Greg Maddux has a brave 40-17, and on the road 25-8. Martinez put down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Takes one a little bit low.
Well, look where Kelly is camped, right over on the right field line.
Pedro's only 1 for 19 on the year. But he hits a little flare into right center field. Grissom over quickly, has it. Got a catcher running, the throw to the plate. O'Brien blocks the plate. Fletcher goes around him, and they got him coming back. Great job by Charlie O'Brien. And boy, did Grissom get to that ball in a hurry. His throw was a little wide of the mark. O'Brien helped him out there. But you just mentioned the positioning of the outfield, Skip, and that was vital to the play. Let's see if Fletcher got his hand on the plate. The tag missed. Oh, boy.
Thank you.
We go to the 6th. 2-0 Braves.
Here's a quick look at the Budweiser game summary. Maddux pitching well. Martinez 7 strikeouts. Mike Kelly a home run. And now the most exciting play of the night, a bang-bang play at the plate. Watch Poncino here. First, as O'Brien misses the tag, he starts reflexively to call him safe. But then he realizes, wait a minute, he's not safe yet. And he rules that O'Brien got the glove on the wrist before the hand hit the plate. You see, Fletcher does not agree.
Fletcher makes a little dive, almost a head-first dive into the dirt after the call. Tony Tarasco didn't like it either. He was the on-deck hitter, and between innings, Poncino was getting some shots, taking some shots from the Expos dugout, and he had to go over and calm things down.
That was a great play by both of O'Brien and Grissom. Grissom's throw wasn't perfect, but it was strong, and he got to the ball so quickly, or it wouldn't have been an issue.
Charlie swings at the first pitch, sends a drive down the left field line, but that's hooking foul. Certainly hit it far enough, but pulled the off-speed pitch. Charlie dug that out of the dirt nicely, didn't he? That
yeah, I didn't even notice live that it was a short hop throw, but it was.
Charlie's chased a couple of fastballs upstairs tonight. Lays off that breaking ball to even the count. Crowd still giving it to Larry Poncino.
Well, Larry is not French, so they don't like him anyway.
Well, he doesn't. I don't know that he even understands French booing. That might be playable for Segui near the Expo dugout, and he runs out of room and takes a pretty good shot from the railing. A ball and 2 strikes to O'Brien. Braves still lead it 2-0. Charlie fights that one off, stays alive. But they lead it 2-0 on a home run and a ground ball out. Soft line drive, shallow left field. On comes Alou, dives and makes a catch. Great play.
You were talking on radio about how deep he plays. And how he's good at coming in on the ball, and he proved it right there. An outstanding play.
Crowd on its feet for Moise Alou. Caught it just above the turf.
Boy, they made some sparkling plays tonight. It's been a terrific game.
Lemke's 0 for 1 with a walk. Doesn't get that one. 0-1. I think that same thing could be applied to Ryan Klesko, Skip. I think if he were asked to play a little deeper, he wouldn't have near as much trouble going back on the ball as he seems to have at times. 2 Hopper to Lansing. 2 down. Whole lot easier to come in on the ball than it is for any outfielder to go back, and especially one that has some inexperience.
Alou checking out the carpet burns after that diving catch. The hostility level is high here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Thought there'd even be a few more folks here tonight with this pitching matchup, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Boy, they've got something to boo about now. They're all over Poncino. Maddux 0 for 2. He was robbed of a hit and an RBI in the second inning with a line drive. Lansing made a nice play. Two outs, nobody on. Look out. Don't need that. 2-1 to count.
After Maddux shortened a bunt, the next pitch zipped right under his chin. But Maddux gets to go out in the middle of the diamond with the ball, too.
That's what's nice about the National League as opposed to the American League in that respect. Ooh, he had a rip at that one, too. Another payback swing. And now it's Martinez's turn.
Yeah, he's trying to take this one right out of here. Almost fell down. Don't get hurt.
No, don't pull anything. 2-2 pitch. He's going to try to bunt again and foul it back out of play. And Martinez and Maddux stare at each other a little bit as Martinez makes his way to the Expo dugout. That was an interesting matchup there. Braves go in order. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Atlanta 2, Expos nothing. Top of the order up for the Expos. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. There's your line score. Home run from Mike Kelly. An infield ground out by Chipper Jones that produced a run. Braves got all the runs in the 5th. Carrasco likes that first pitch. He comes up empty on that one. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Maddux has fanned 3. Martinez has struck out 8. Off the fist. And a fast man out. 1 down here in the 6th. And Maddux keeps that leadoff guy off the sacks. You know, he struck out Carrasco last time up on that fastball inside. And you know Tony was thinking, I'm not going to give up on that pitch again. And lo and behold, he gets sawed off.
There it is. Right off his thumbs.
Not much he could do about it. Segui wants to bunt his way aboard, but fouls it off. Two-base error in the 1st inning by Ryan Klesko, but Maddux was able to pitch out of the jam, got a couple of ground ball outs in the inning. One and one. Well, that was kind of fun to watch. Maddux get the hair on the back of his neck up a little bit after getting that high and tight pitch from Martinez. Slice to left. Klesko right there this time for the out. 2 down.
You know, one thing we both stopped doing when Ryan's in left field and the fly ball's hit, we never say that'll be easy.
but he's working awful hard to improve. Playing with a sore leg out there too. Cordero's base hit, an infield hit, extended his hitting streak to 8 games. Boo. He didn't like that call. Maddux has done a good job of working him in and out. And the outfield plays Cordero to the opposite field. Tried to pull that pitch. And it's 0-2. Braves trying to rebound from an opening night loss here to the Expos and head to Denver. Are winning 2 out of 3. They lead it 2-0. Let's see if he wastes a pitch here. He does, and it's 1-2. That's good news for the Braves if the Astros can hang on to that lead. 1-2 pitch, a breaking ball off the end of the bat. Cordero has his second hit. Right off the end of the bat. Five hits for the Expos, but only one came from a leadoff batter in an inning. That was Sean Berry. He was aboard in the 3rd inning on an infield hit, bunted to second, and then for some unknown reason tried to steal 3rd and was gunned down by Charlie O'Brien. $25,013 in attendance here tonight. Moisealou has grounded out, popped up. He too likes the first pitch. Let's see how Maddux works it. Cordero had a 1-out single in the 4th inning, and Maddux did a great job of holding him close, going over time after time. Maddux with only 8 walks on the year in 72 innings. That was a funny swing from Alou, almost like he was looking for the changeup, and then when he saw the fastball, tried to swing anyway, and he was a little late.
Here's another look at it. Yeah, I think you're right. He missed that badly. But that doesn't make him any less dangerous on the next pitch.
No way. 1-1 the count. And he sends a drive to center field. Grissom got a good jump on it, still going back and makes the catch to end the inning. Another fine defensive effort by Marquise Grissom, and Maddux avoids trouble. He strands another runner. We've completed 6, and Atlanta leads it 2-0. There's your score after 6 innings of play. It's time for the Aflac trivia question. And tonight's question: who was the first Expos batter in franchise history? You might be surprised. I'll give you the answer in the bottom half of the inning.
And we go to the 7th, and Mike Kelly leads it off. Mike struck out twice, but on his other trip, nailed one out of here in deep left center. His 3rd homer of the year. 0-1 the count.
I went back and dug up his other leadoff opportunities when he's been in that spot in the order.
1-1.
And his on-base percentage has been very good from that spot. It was .370 coming in, and his batting average better also at .260 when he's been the leadoff guy.
A ball and a strike. Didn't catch up with that one. 1-2. Tom Glavine and Bill Swift tomorrow night in Denver. Steve Avery, Juan Acevedo on Saturday, and Kent Merker and Marvin Freeman on Sunday. Got him. Off-speed breaking ball. Third strikeout of the night for Kelly. Ninth for Martinez.
This was an excellent pitch. Really froze him. Locked his knees up a little bit as he was thinking he was going to have to duck out of the way of the pitch. Dropped in there nicely. This guy is one tough pitcher.
Blauser check swing strike.
And everything works off of that. That neck high fastball that the hitters see well coming out of his hands, but they can't lay off of it.
His strikeout high coming into this year is 10, and that's still the case. And he's done it once this year. Fly ball, left center. Rondell White back, pretty well hit, but playable. 2 out. And here's Mr. Grissom, who has had a pretty good series. 3 hits tonight. 2 hits last night. 3 hits the night before. 4 of them doubles. 8 out of 10 in the series.
That's a good return home, I'd say.
Plus a couple outstanding plays and throwing a runner out at the plate, and he's up to 274.
That's even better. Those line drives he was hitting for outs earlier in the year beginning to even out a little bit. He's even getting a few flare hits.
There's a pitch on the corner. It's 1-1. When a right-hand hitter goes 3 for 3 against this guy, that's a pretty good night's work. On the corner at the knee is 1-2. Marquise not too sure about that one.
I love the way he stretched that second double also after hitting that ball off the end of the bat out in shallow right center.
Yeah, that left heel is getting better. Fouled away, almost got himself a speaker. 1-2 the count. Do you get a gift or anything if you hit one of those speakers that hang over the field?
I don't know. I'll check on it.
Roll down the screen and ask. Two and two. There's what we're talking about. This is a very weird place, folks. Look out. Full count. 3-2.
There's a stripe painted on the ceiling here, on the concrete part of the ceiling, right down the left field and right field line above the foul tape, for a reason I'll explain later.
Payoff. Hit right back up the middle. He's 4 out of 4. Man, oh man, what a series. 9 out of 11.
And the way this guy is mowing people down, Skip, he's struck out 9. He's been putting hitters away left and right with off-speed pitches and breaking balls. Tried to run a fastball by Marquise on a 1-2 count. He fought that off, got the count back in his favor, and was able to get a pitch he could handle. First 4-hit game for Marquise as a Brave.
And he's up close to 280 now, I would guess. Probably not quite there, but see if he does some running. They think so. Got him. Good move. Martinez picked off Grissom. Marquise didn't like the call, but he is out of there. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. Nobody left. I don't know about that call either. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. 2-0 Atlanta.
Braves still lead at 2-0, and time for the Aflac trivia question answer. First batter in Expos history, Maury Wills. How many of you got that one right?
Not me. Rondell White hits the first pitch foul. It's 0-1. White is grounded to short, grounded to third. Tim Scott in the bullpen for the Expos. White, Lansing, and Fletcher do here in the 7th. The pitcher is due up 5th in the inning. Breaking ball, another chance for Blauser. Gonna have to unload in a hurry. He does. 1 out. So White is 0 for 3, and here's Mike Lansing. Lansing, an interesting story. He signed originally with an independent team in the Florida State League, and then had his contract purchased by the Expos. He's out of Wichita State University.
Made the most out of a chicken pox situation here a couple of years ago when he got called up when Delano DeShields had to be placed on the DL.
He's turned into a good, solid second baseman. He comes up empty there, 0-1. 2-7-1 for Atlanta, 0-5-0 for Montreal. It's even now, a ball and a strike. Hit hard. What a play. Can he throw him out? He can. Super play, Chipper Jones. Highway robbery there, 2 down. That's a double to left, you would think, but Chipper wouldn't let it happen.
Quick reactions is what it takes to play third base. He's talked about how playing shortstop, sometimes you've got time to circle a ball or get yourself in a position to make a play. Certainly not at third base. And boy, is he some kind of good athlete. He's been making good plays in the outfield. Turns in another one there at third.
Darren Fletcher, the batter, 1 for 2. And I don't think that it's any coincidence, Joe, that in this game we've seen several outstanding plays by both teams. When you got pitchers who throw strikes, it's easier for the position players to concentrate, and thus they're in a position to make better plays.
And it starts from the first pitch of the ball game because you know they're going to be around the plate. Defensively, you're always a little more heads up when you know your guy is going to force the other team to swing the bat.
0-2 the count. Maddux takes a look around, makes sure his players are positioned where he wants them. And he goes to work 0-2. And that ball is ripped into right center, but Kelly's got a beat on it. And the inning is over. 1-2-3, nothing doing. We have completed 7 in the Olympic Stadium. So far, so good. Braves on top by 2.
Eighth inning, time to take a look at the Delta scoreboard. Mark Grace homered for the Cubbies today as they beat the Giants. Phillies have tied up their game with Houston. Garcia has homered for Pittsburgh, and Mark Johnson as well give the Pirates a lead. New York hosting Florida. Coburn has homered for the Marlins. San Diego at St. Louis, no score there early on in the American League. A one-hit shutout for Mark Gubiza in Kansas City. Detroit has a home run from Cecil Fielder in their lead. The other game, Chicago at California, not yet underway.
And a new pitcher, Tim Scott, comes on. Scott, no record, a 3.97 earned run average. He has 2 saves. This is his 22nd game of the year, and the league is hitting .171 against him. Martinez went 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, a hit batsman, a home run.
This guy's a hard thrower, and he usually records about a strikeout an inning, and that's exactly where he is this year.
McGriff, Jones, and Klesko, 3 left-hand hitters, will face him. Last night, for those of you who couldn't see the game, the bullpen let the Expos down late, and a close game was broken open. The Braves hope history will repeat. McGriff 0 for 2.
The Expos only have 1 left-hander in their bullpen too, Skip, and that's Gabe White. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see them do some maneuvering to try to get another lefty. It's tough to get through the National League with as many quality left-handed sticks as there are with just one guy.
Especially when your arch rival is Atlanta with the fellas coming up in this inning. Ground ball down the third base line, gets by. That's his first hit in 12 tries. In 13 tries, make it. And Fred is at second with a double and a good start to the 8th inning. Sort of like Klesko hit his double earlier in the game.
Right off the end of the bat, and maybe that'll help kickstart him a little bit. He was actually 1 for his last 20 overall. Good hard sinking fastball right off the nub of the bat. Chipper Jones had a great at bat, Skip, when he got that run in because he'd made an adjustment for Pedro Martinez. Watch him keep his hands back on a changeup that he had chased earlier in the ball game. And guys who drive in 100 runs, that's what they do. They do something to get a guy home, even if it's a ground ball out.
He's shown that happy knack all year long with 34 RBIs already. He's got a duck out there on the pond in scoring position now. He thought about a 2-run shot right there, 0-1.
Well, he uses his hands so well in his swing. Quick bat. Very little wasted motion. He has a short stride, allows his hands to work. That's what makes him such a good fastball hitter, too.
He's quickly in the hole, 0-2. The Expos play him just about straight away, shaded perhaps a step toward right field.
I like him in this spot in the order, too, to tell you the truth. With Justice out of the lineup, gives Fred a little more protection.
Justice isn't going to be out of the lineup much longer. It appears he may be ready to go by Saturday. Didn't miss by much. 1-2. We are in the 8th. Braves lead at 2-0. 2 out of 3 here would be a very nice start to this trip. But it's not a done deal yet. There goes the runner. Pitch is swung, popped up foul. Boy, he had it stolen. But with 2 strikes, Chipper can't lay off.
Chipper had no choice, but you're right. Fred was going to walk to third base.
There's the situation in the game. Detroit's opened it up on the Yankees. It's 8-2. Dodgers rather trying to come back. It's 8-4 now in Pittsburgh. They're in the 6th. There's David. He says it's not 100%, but he's going to try to play with it.
Said he's tired of sitting, too.
Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
One thing your hands do, Skip, if you're quick enough like Chipper to keep your hands back and wait to see the ball out of the pitcher's hand, even against a hard thrower like Martinez or Scott, it keeps your head still. You don't have to lunge. The more you lunge or jump at a hard thrower, the slower your hands get. His short stride allows him to be quick.
Let up outside. 9 o'clock start tomorrow night Eastern time from Colorado. 8 o'clock on Saturday. 3 o'clock on Sunday. Then it's on to Cincinnati for 4 and then home against the Mets. And these Expos come in. Another business person special on Wednesday the 28th, one of those 12:40 games.
First base open, but they want it out. Trying to throw a strike that's tough to hit.
It was 0-2. Now it's 4-2.
Yeah, that was not a good choice, I don't think. Maybe the fact that he had fouled off so many good fastballs gave them reason to believe they could get him with the off-speed pitch.
Activity will begin again in the bullpen.
That's a foul line, folks. It's painted to the ceiling down each line above the foul tape for good reason. Years ago, Dave Kingman hit a ball down the left field line that hit the ceiling, and the umpires couldn't tell if it was fair or foul. It was so far away.
Pitch to Klesko, popped up left side. Will it stay in play? No, it will not. 0-1.
And it's hard to describe even on television how far away that is. But Kingman hit some monstrous blast, but that's a long way away.
And the guy he used to wear out the most, I guess, is your ex-teammate and Don's, Andy Messersmith. Remember how Kingman used to, as good as Messersmith was, that was one guy he just could not get out.
Andy just got everybody else out.
Boy, he sure did. 2 on, nobody out. Braves trying to break it open here in the 8th. There go the runners. Pitches low, throw to third. Got him. McGriff argues about it. Jimmy Williams argues about it. Bobby Cox argues about it. McGriff seldom says anything to anybody, but he's got something to say to Charlie Relaford here. That hurt.
Well, if Fred's arguing, I believe him, but he did something that hurt him. And that is he pulled his leg back. He had a bent leg too much here. He didn't go in straight. See, his front leg is bent and high. And maybe he's just saying he avoided the tag that Barry fanned on him when he was trying to swipe at him. But if Fred goes in quick, I think he beats the throw.
He did miss the tag. But
yep.
At least the other runner, Jones, moved up. 1-1 to Klesko. Look out inside. 2-1. Two balls and a strike.
He was really telegraphing that off-speed pitch, slowing down his motion and just laying out the palm of his hand as he starts to let that ball go. Hitters will pick that up quickly.
Harris is ready if needed. Klesko 2 out of 3 with a walk. This is 3 members of their bullpen that have, in the last 2 nights, that have faced 3 men without retiring anyone. We're going to get a pinch runner here. Brian Kowitz will come in to run for Klesko and will stay in the game defensively.
Good night for Ryan at the plate. He had a couple of good at bats against Martinez. League hitting under 200 against Martinez, and Ryan had a 2-for-3 night against him.
Oh, Charlie!
Charlie O'Brien 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. That was against Martinez. Now that play at third base looms even larger. You could have a bases loaded, nobody out situation. Foul back. It's 0-1. I don't know if that was a hit and run play or what, but both guys were running, and Klesko took the pitch.
Well, Chipper's heads up enough. He was probably alert to the fact that Fred might run. But Scott is so slow to the plate. He has a very high leg kick from his stretch position, and I'm sure that's what Fred was trying to take advantage of.
Base hit here would be very nice. 0-2. He was 0-2 on Chipper Jones and then walked him, but now it's a right-hand hitter up there, and Scott will probably pitch more aggressively. Pirates now 11-4 over the Dodgers in the 7th. They appear to have that one pretty well closed down. Just missed inside. It's 1-2. Scott thought he had a strikeout, and he didn't miss by much.
Poncino glares out at him too, but after giving up a double and then 2 walks, he doesn't get the benefit of that pitch, and that looked like a real good one.
Joe Kerrigan, Felipe Alou look on. Look out. Did it hit him? No. 2-2.
How did that miss him?
O'Brien takes a long look out at the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I thought Charlie had turned away from it, but that it was certainly going to get him, and somehow just missed his belt buckle.
2-2 pitch. Low and away, and he's run it full again after being ahead in the count. 0-2.
Watch Charlie when he gets in the box this time. Let's see if he makes an adjustment with his stance. And that pitch he did. He got into one stance, and then just as Scott went into his stretch, he opened his front foot up a little bit, almost like if he's going to bust me inside again, I'm going to be ready for him. Well, he keeps it about the same.
Well, do you send the runners here? 3-2, 1 out.
I would with a 2-run lead. Why not?
O'Brien has struck out twice. That's one reason why not.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
But you've got the lead now.
Yep. Popped up on the infield. Everybody retreating. Cordero waits. Infield fly rule is called. There's the catch. It's all up to Mark Lemke if the Braves are to do any damage here in the 8th inning. Kerrigan to the mound to talk to his pitcher. What he might be saying is, I know there's a runner at first base, but we don't want this guy to give him any more runs. If you have to walk him and take your chances with Maddux, don't worry about it.
Exactly.
If he walks him, it'll probably be Harris that would pitch to Maddux.
But exactly right in that they know Bobby Cox is not going to pull Greg Maddux out even if the bases are loaded. Just don't make a mistake to the second baseman.
A little in-betweener would be nice right here.
Situations like this, Mark generally likes to hit the first pitch if it's a strike. Let's see if that happens here.
How about into right center?
Nobody there.
Nowhere near. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves are 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. Maybe Lemke can change that around. Maybe not. We'll soon find out. 2-8-1 for the Braves. 0-5-0 for the Expos.
One thing's for sure, if the Braves have been paying attention, they know that Scott has not thrown that changeup for a strike. They can sit on the hard stuff.
The 1-0. Had a good cut, but the fastball was by him. 1-1. Maddux waits on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Foul back. 1-2.
Had another good swing, though.
At hard stuff. You're right.
Yeah, pitch might have been a little bit high for Mark. Might have been out of his zone a little bit. Difference was Scott kept it in on his hands. He's ahead in the count now. Let's see if he stays with the fastball.
Ground ball to second. They'll be out of the inning. And an inning that started with great promise comes to nothing. 1 hit. No runs. 1 big play went against the Braves at third base. No errors charged. 2 left. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. Still 2-0 Atlanta. Brian Coates stays in the game to play left field, and Sean Berry leads off the bottom half of the 8th inning. Joe Simpson, Skip Carey with you. And a strike is in there to Berry. Berry 1 out of 2 tonight and 6 out of 17 in his career against Maddux, which is quite good. Mel Rojas in their bullpen. They will pinch hit with Curtis Pride next. A ball and a strike to count.
Greg Maddux has pitched 8 or more innings in each of his last 5 starts.
Didn't mean to, and a ground ball to right for a hit. There's a tough break. Trying to stop his swing. Berry gets an single to right. And here's Curtis Pride to hit.
Sean's living right tonight at the plate. He had an infield single off the plate back in the 3rd inning. And now, is right. Somehow the ball found the bat. And the leadoff man aboard for the Expos, and sometimes that's trouble.
Pride had an off year last year. Hit just .257 at Ottawa. He had hit .302 there the year before. A strike to him. It's 0-1. Double play ball, maybe 6. 4, 3. Perfect. Blauser turns another one over. 2 down.
Yeah, Jeff may have to be the one icing his arm down tonight. Gave Lemke a great feed too. Head high. Nice to have Tarasco up there with nobody on too, and if you can get him, you don't have to worry about him leading off an inning.
But you know you got to go through the tough part of their order before it's over. If you get Tarasco, it's Segui, Cordero, and Alou in the 9th. I worry about Tony if the National League goes ahead, or Major League Baseball goes ahead with this rule where you have to stay in the batter's box. Tony always shuts his eyes for a few seconds. Smart pitchers will wait till he shuts his eyes and then let one rip. Sort of a concentration thing, I guess.
I'm sure there'll be a way he'll figure that out. It's almost a calming effect for him. A relaxation method.
See right
Deep
there,
breath.
you could underhand one up there.
Underhand one and duck.
2 balls and a strike. See, now he does it when he steps out. But
he is a good low ball hitter.
high pop. Will it stay in? O'Brien has a play. Pats the glove. That's that. The leadoff single comes to nothing. No 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 9th. Some insurance would be nice. Mel Rojas on to pitch. Braves up by 2. Mel Rojas on to pitch. He's 1-1. He has 11 saves, but he has a higher run average, 4.38. The league hitting .226 against him.
And he has 3 blown saves for the Expos as well, including a game out in San Francisco, in that game where Rondell White went 6 for 7. He gave up 4 runs in the ninth, the Giants to tie it.
4 runs in the 9th would be very nice. Boy, he looks heavier than he did last year, doesn't he?
He does a bit. But he still throws hard, has an excellent split finger pitch.
Maddux has been brilliant again, but not at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard one time with a couple runners on, but Lansing made a great play to rob him of a hit. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 9th.
It's all right, Greg. Just don't overexert yourself.
He doesn't understand that.
Doesn't compute, does it?
No. Cordero lobs it across in time. 1 down. So Maddux is out of there. The Expos have not, Joe tells me, been shut out all year. Hopefully that will change later this evening. If he can get it, Greg will have his 18th career shutout.
And his 3rd complete game this year, which would time for the league lead with Tyler Green of Philadelphia, who I believe was pitching tonight.
Yes, he was. And pitching well, obviously. There's a guy who had an run average of about 6, I think it was, last year in the International League. Here's Kelly. He has struck out 3 times. That's the bad news. The good news, a long home run in the 5th to plate the first Atlanta run. Oh, 0-2.
Mike Kelly is in more 0-2 counts than anybody I've ever seen.
Except Ryan Klesko when he was going through that slump.
Yeah,
Not anymore. Inside, a ball and 2 strikes. The crowd, which was announced at 25,013, is not happy with that call or with anything Larry Poncino does. Fouled back and the count stays 1-2.
There have been times where this season Mike has already begun his swing before the pitcher even lets go of the ball. He's already beginning to take his stride, gets his hands going, and commits too soon.
Well, they say went around. Kelly can't believe that. They didn't ask for help. Harry Wendelstedt had nothing to do with it. That's a little rough. Rojas records his first strikeout.
That was a quick ring up. Watch the head of the bat. He stopped it, it looked like, from that angle in plenty of time. This will be the telltale mark. Nah, not that time.
I don't think so either. Here's Jeff Blauser. 0 for 3, hit by pitch, scored a run, and made a great base running play to plate that second run. He was at second. Fly ball to center was hit by McGriff. He bluffed going toward third, but then when Rondell White threw it behind him to second, he just kept going and thus was able to score on an infield roller by Chipper Jones.
Turns out to be a big run, too. I was teasing Jeff before the ball game in the clubhouse about how last night with his big offensive night, he must be exhausted. He said, yeah, I rarely get to go out to a base and actually turn left.
Ground ball, Berry. Nice play to his left. Throws him out, and the inning is over. Boy, we've seen some great plays tonight. No hits, no runs, no errors, nobody left. Bottom half of the 9th inning. Can the Braves hang on? They lead 2-0. Mark Wohlers goes to work in the Atlanta bullpen. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Expos. David Segui leads it off. He's 0 for 3. Reached on an error in the first. There's Wohlers. And pretty high-priced guard out there.
Yes, it is. It sure is. But he'd do anything to get out of the dugout at this point.
Yeah, it's driving him nuts. Well, here we go.
Keep the leadoff guy off.
Line to center. Grissom can't get there. Well, what a play he made even to save that from going to the wall.
Oh, boy. He's taking a deep sigh, though. He knew that he was right in between. He thought he might be able to catch it on the fly. And that almost went to the wall. It takes some quick hands. He was throwing body and everything else out there trying to keep that from getting by him. Fortunate.
Cordero, the batter. 2 out of 3 tonight. 5 out of 20 against Greg Maddux in his career. Wohlers continues to work in the bullpen. Strike right in there. 0-1.
And that's all Maddux will do here. He's just going to try to make sure he throws low strikes. If Cordero's going to hit the ball in the air, he's going to have to supply the power. And that home run came against the Expos right here.
Double play ball. 6, 4, 3 again. Just what Joe said. Keep it low. Let him hit it on the ground and let your good double play combination do the job. And that's just what they did. 2 out.
Easy for these guys to turn this one. And now they leave it all up to Moise Alou. Here's that pitch again. Change up. Just enough off of it to have Cordero out on his front foot.
And out over the outside corner. When you try to pull that ball, it normally winds up a grounder to short.
That's right.
Here's Alou. A strike. He didn't like that call.
First 2 starts of the year, Greg worked 5 and some change with a shortened spring training. His third start, he worked 7 2/3 innings, and everything else has been 8 innings or better. Incredible.
The 0-1. That should do it. Blauser has it. Blauser throws. McGriff has it. And the Braves have rallied to win 2 out of 3 here. And Greg Maddux and Marquise Grissom combined for a pretty impressive night's work, Joe.
Outstanding effort for the Braves, too, overall, after losing the first game to come back and win the last 2 here. Our AutoZone player of the game is Marquise Grissom. 9 for 11 in the series, 4 doubles. He was 4 for 4 tonight. First time he's had a 4-hit game for the Braves. Turned in a couple of spectacular defensive efforts, including throwing out Darren Fletcher at the plate. Put a little AutoZone co-player of the game next to Greg Maddux's name because he comes up big, too, with his 5th win of the year, and it's a 7-hit shutout And Skip and I'll be back to wrap things up here in Montreal right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball, brought to you by Delta Airlines. You'll love the way we fly. And by Aflac, covering the unexpected cost of getting well. Aflac, insuring over 38 million people worldwide.
When you're going on a murderous road trip, it's nice to start things off by winning 2 out of 3 against the team ahead of you, which is the Montreal Expos, and the Braves move into a tie with Montreal by winning it 2-0 tonight. 2 runs, 8 hits, an error, 9 men left on base for Atlanta. No runs, 7 hits, no errors, 4 men left on base for Montreal. You see that Maddux wins his 5th game. Martinez loses his 2nd. Attendance at tonight's contest, 25,013 in a game that only took 2 hours and 25 minutes.
And the Braves journey to Colorado to take on the Rockies tomorrow. We'll have it for you at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Coming up next on TBS, Gray Lady Down. Charlton Heston and David Carradine star in a miraculous rescue of a nuclear submarine. Gray Lady Down next on TBS. See you tomorrow from Denver. So long, everybody.
This has been a presentation of Turner Sports.